Hey up, it's the old Yorkshire geek here, and it's Orville Day. As you can see, we're on the bridge of the Orville, zooming through space, but not at quantum speed. This is episode 3 of season 3, and it's called... I can't remember. What's it called? Oh, me and my silly brain. Oh, it'll come to me later on. Right, we'll crack on. So, where have I put the episode? It's down here somewhere. We'll do what we usually do. We'll go through it. Hang on, where's my microphone gone? My microphone's gone on skew Wi-Fi. There we go. Hang on. Can you hear me? Right. Badosh. There it is. There you see there's a shuttle approaching. Do. And that shuttle contains one Talia Keali. Or Tala Keali, not Talia. Tala Keali. So it comes on board. Do we see her in... yeah, it comes on board anyway. She's been away. She's been back home. To Zelaya. I think it's Zelaya, where they're from. Where the gravity's so strong that if a human went there without any protection or whatever, they'd be killed instantly. That's why they're so strong when they're in, like, wungy environments. Anyway, so she's back on the Orville. She goes to see Kelly. There's a long tracking shot of her walking through the corridors. Don't really know why. Seems a bit pointless, but maybe it's just filling out time. So she goes to see Kelly, and she says she's back, and she requests her, resume her duties, and Kelly says, yeah, fair enough. They have a little chit-chat about, her family and, blah, blah, blah. So, then what happens? Right, so, anyway, what's going on here? I can't actually remember. See, I watch these, and then I miss bits, and I forget. Somebody's handing out things, and I can't remember what they are. Look like sweeties. Somebody's handing out sweeties on the bridge. Oh, it's Keali, isn't she? It's Tala. She's handing out sweeties. From her trip. Getting to know the crew. There's Bortus. Right, so Isaac picks up some signals from this planet. Don't ask me what it's called. I can't remember because I'm useless. But it's supposed to be a barren world with no life in it whatsoever. So they're picking up these signals of a technological nature. So the set course for it. By the way, she has a bit of a wig out, this Charlie. She's thinking, why are they going there just on Isaac's say-so? Because remember, she doesn't like Isaac because of what the Kalon have done. But anyway, but he overrules her, does Ed. And the set course for that planet, it begins with N. That's as much as I can remember. Narin, is it Narin? Narin 3 or something like that. Anyway, they get there, they find that there's a civilization down there. They don't understand why, because, according to Union scans, there's supposed to be no life whatsoever, but there's a civilization down there, that, billions of people. So they decide to take a shuttle down. They're not answering hails, by the way. They try and hail them, but they don't answer hails. So they take a shuttle down, and they're flying over this... they go through the clouds. There we go. There's a lovely, forest as far as the eye can see. But supposedly, according to the scans, there's supposed to be a city there. There's supposed to be, it says downtown Manhattan or whatever, but there's just trees. For some reason, I don't really know why. They're trying to explain it later on, but it doesn't make a great deal of sense. But never mind. So there we go. They come and land in this clearing, and this is the most CG tree I've ever seen. If you watch it, look, it comes down, and then I said that tree will go out of shot and we'll not see it again. I don't know why they needed that tree there. But whatever. So they all get out, and there we go. and they're trundling through the forest, and they pick up some readings, and they find, in a minute, they pick up some life forms. That's it. They pick up some life forms. So they head that way. So I've gone too far. There we go. They head that way, and there's a school there. So it's like Oakwood High School. I think what the, and then we go to the credits. Dee. Right, are we there? Are we there? There we go. Mortality paradox. That's what it's called. I knew it'd come to me because I've just read it on the screen. Right. So anyway, so they go and check out this school, and I think this is aimed at Gordon. Gordon seems the one that's the most affected by what's going on at this school. As the episode goes on, each of them, they encounter scenarios that are sort of like tailored for each member of the crew. So just to let you know. Anyway, I think this one's aimed at Gordon, who probably didn't have a happy school life. 'Cause he's ginger. I don't know, I'm just making that up. Anyway, they go in, and then all the doors lock. There doesn't seem to be anybody about at the moment. But then all the doors shut. Tala can't open the door, because remember, she's super strong. She can't open the door. So they try and shoot the window, and it don't make any difference. See if I can get a shot of that. There we go. So she tries to shoot the window. Oh, for God's sake. No, just me to just miss it. Go on, get your gun out. There we go. Pew! She shoots the window, nothing happens. So they're saying they're the force field, so maybe they are. And then I think the bell rings, and suddenly loads of kids appear. They seem, they don't seem to be concerned that there's a Moclan there in the school, because I think they're supposed to be, it's like a present day high school. I don't know why, it just is. Because they're talking in present day terminology. They mention like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. So it's obviously not Gordon's high school that he went to as a kid. It's a present day one. It makes no sense. But they talk to him, and but they don't really answer many questions. So they decide to split up, and Gordon gets separated from him. He just wanders off basically, and meanwhile, oh, by the way, yes, that reminds me. I bet I can't find him again. Oh, never mind. Chief Engineer, Lieutenant Commander, what's his face? Jay Lee, the worst actor in the universe. He's in charge of the ship, so he's come a long way, hasn't he? He's gone from being a complete idiot in season 1, and he was an idiot, to being this super amazing engineer by the end of season 1, to being left, he's in command of the Orville now, and he does a good job, even though he can't act. But I can't act either. Anyway, Gordon, so they split up. Ed and Kelly go one way, these three go the other way. And Gordon wanders off by himself. In a minute, if I see it. But I can't find it. Anyway, he gets accosted, does Gordon. So I'm not going to find it, am I? Oh, they're going to a classroom. That's it. Bortus and Tala go into this classroom, interrupt a lesson, and she's trying to smash the window to get him out, but nothing's happening. So the teacher's like saying, "Will you get out of my classroom before I call the school counsellor or whatever, or the principal?" Anyway, so while they're doing that, Gordon's wandered off, and he gets accosted by some bullies and dragged into the toilets, and they're dunking him in the toilet, and they're saying, "You've got to pay." Is it Randall? I think somebody called Randall. I think it's Randall. They've got to pay him his money by 3:15, and they beat him up, so he's all cut and bruised. See, they go out there, and they go in, and there we go. Gordon's looking a bit beaten up. So they're saying, so if it is a hologram, if it's not, they can get hurt. It's not like a place where they can't get hurt. So because he's been beaten up, So then there we go. They go to the cafeteria and they start asking questions about this Randall. I think it's Randall. And they're all saying, you should pay him. Anyway, they're saying he hangs out by the bleachers. So they go outside. Oh, for God's sake, not that far. There we go. They go outside. See, and they're outside. They think, oh, right, we can escape. But they try and get in touch with the Orville. So when they went inside, they lost communications with the Orville. But they think now they're outside, they think they'll be safe. But they can't. They still can't get through. And then Kelly or somebody says the shuttle's disappeared off her scans. So obviously something's still going on outside. The illusion has extended. Anyway, so they go to the playing fields, and these bullies arrive again. And they say, "Where's Randall?" And they say, "There he is." And I'll not find it. I'll not land on it, will I? 'Cause you know what I'm like. There we go. That's Randall. He's a big bloody monster thing. There we go. There he is. He's a big monster. Ah, see, and he's got a big chopper. Anyway, he grabs Odder Gordon. See if we can. See, I missed it. And when he's while he's got Odder Gordon, whatever. While he's got Odder Gordon, we see Gordon's eyes turn white. He sort of like freezes, and his eyes turn white. And then Talon picks up a piece of a bench or something and throws it at Randall, and it goes in his eye. And he drops Gordon, and they all run away. And they run through a door, and they find themselves on an aeroplane. I think, what's going on here? So that got me thinking, right, they're going to be set with a set of tasks, and they can only defeat the task if they work together. You know, there's got to be somebody there to help whoever, you know, is the centre of the scenario. Anyway, they're on this plane. And it's very turbulent. Gordon says, you know, he's a pilot and he knows from these ancient planes. Another thing that's set from modern days and not from the 25th century. I don't know why they're doing this, but never mind. Pardon me. So they decide. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Jay Lee, I forgot his name now. I'm always forgetting names of characters. He's sent Claire and Isaac and a couple of red shirts to go find the crew, the missing crew. And see, they've arrived at the over the planet, and the illusion's not there for them. The planet looks how they expect it to look, a barren wasteland, but with a breathable atmosphere. Oddly, but never mind. Here they go, look, a couple of red shirts. But they don't die, not that I've noticed. There we go. And I noticed the some of the effects in this episode are not very good. I mean, Randall looked good and the spaceships looked good, but some of the compositing of in, you know, in front of like the blue screen, I suppose you could call it, the blue screen effects don't look very good. Look very 90s, to be honest. But never mind. They see the shuttle, but there's the other shuttle, but there's no sign of Ed and the crew, the rest of the crew. Right, so they're on this plane, and they decide to go to the cockpit to help out. And when they get into the cockpit, by the way, I noticed that. See if we can get to it. They get Tala to open the cockpit door, and I thought, well, that's weird, because in the school they couldn't do anything, could they? I mean, I know she oyed that bench at Randall, but she couldn't do anything to the school itself. You know, break the doors or the windows. But she rips open this door with ease, and we see that there's no pilots. You know, in a minute, if I can land on it, which I'm probably not gonna. Oh, whatever. So they decide to try and fly the plane themselves. Well, Gordon does. And they find out there's no fuel in the plane, and so they've got to glide it in. So that's what he does. So brings the plane down, crashes it, crash lands it. They're all right. Ed gets a slight injury. Oh, and they go out through the door. They find they're in this weird room here. This peculiar room. And it's full of them things there. And Bortus says it's a Mauchline morgue. There's dead bodies in them. They're like coffins, basically. Mauchline coffins that are floating. So they open one. Well, no, actually, they all just open. I think Tala presses something on a wall and it lights up, and all the coffins open. And Bortus looks at one. Here we go. You'll see that. Whatever. They open, and Bortus goes, looks at one, and I think the fella inside is actually Bortus. See, I've gone too far. There we go. I think that's Bortus, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, he comes alive and starts strangling the real Bortus. There we go. And his eyes turn white, but then Kelly, helps. I don't know what she can do to help, but they get him free and he's all right. And then another door opens. So that were a quick scenario, wasn't it? There we go. Another door opens. There we go. So they go through and they find themselves somewhere else. I think they're outside on this one, I do believe. But back at the ship, Commander J. Lee, I still can't remember his name. He's still doing his job and he's doing it well. They've said there's no sign of him, so they head back to the ship. They find themselves on a staircase going down. It's like 1,000 meters down. So they follow it. Nothing happens, and they end up outside in a really bad, day for night shot. It looks awful. Obviously, it's shot in the middle of the day because the shadows are all very crisp and clear. But never mind. As I said, it's very 90s. And apparently they're on Zelaya. I think it's Zelaya, where Tala's from. And he says it's obviously not real because all the humans would be dead. All the non-Zelayans would be dead instantly because of the gravity. Anyway, they see this light across the lake, so they find that raft. And the couple of them, Kelly and Gordon and Tala, take the raft across the lake to see what the light's about. Kelly tells Ed he shouldn't go because of this injury, this head injury. He could have a concussion, so he agrees to stay behind with Bortus. Anyway, they row off across the lake, and we see that there's a big monster in the lake. But I'll not land on it. See, I've gone too far already. There we go. There's a big monster, and it grabs Kelly and pulls her under, and Tala swims down and saves her. Kelly's eyes turn white. So Tala swims down and saves her. Can hold the breath a long time. Stuff like this, I try and hold my breath when people are underwater in films. I think, I wonder if I can hold my breath as long as they can, and I never can. Anyway, Tala saves her, and they swim back up, and they head back to the surface. And they go back to Ed, and the lights disappeared. The flashing light that they saw has disappeared. So anyway, another doorway appears. She's all right, by the way. She's fine. They'll soon dry off in that moonlight. In quotes. There we go. Another doorway appears, but Ed says, "We're not having any more of this bullshit." I thought, ooh. And the door disappears, so they just head off in another direction. Where do they end up? They find, there's a cave and there's a power reading inside, and I was thinking, this is very original series. It's going to be like a computer that's, like in the original series. Because when Ed was saying, "We've had enough of this, stop it," it sounded a bit like Kirk in the original series. Anyway, they find this, it's a holographic generator. There it is. And they shoot it and destroy it, and all the the illusion disappears. There we go. So they decide to take the parts, they gather up the parts, and they take them back to the Orville. And I was immediately suspicious, but we'll get to that. So they head back to the Orville. There we go. And they analyse the parts, and Isaac says that some of the technology inside, well, some of it, is unknown. The casing and all that is of Kalon design. So it was obviously a trick that the Kalon, are doing. Anyway, they'd sent a message back to the Union, and the Union are sending some ships with their USS Franklin in command of the small fleet that they're sending. So these other ships arrive. If the Kalon are up to something, they're sending a fleet. They get in touch with Admiral Halsey, and that's what he tells them. That they're sending help. Anyway, some ships appear. Oh, for God's sake. But Isaac, for crying out loud. Isaac does a scan of them, and he says that they're not Union ships, they're Kalon ships. And Charlie's saying, why are you believing him? It could be a ruse. He could be up to his old tricks again. But Ian is right, and the Union ships transmogrify into Kalon ships and start chasing the Orville. And the Orville's basically losing, they're getting blown to bits. No her face, don't know what I've seen her in. But here we go. And then we think, hang on, I always go too far, don't I? Come on, go back a bit. I know her face. Was she in Scary Movie? Right, see, they're getting pummeled by these Kalon ships. And then it looks like they're about to be destroyed. A Kalon ship is about to ram into them. See, I'm doing this. I'll probably get a copyright strike because of this. And they're about to be destroyed, or you get the feeling they're about to be destroyed. And then we cut back to Commander J. Lee, who's in the captain's chair. So obviously, what's going on the other Orville, with Ed, is still part of the illusion. They're still down on the planet. Anyway, a shuttle drops out of Quantum, and it's got Tala on board. And she says she's been waiting for them for 3 hours at the rendezvous point. And they said, well, we picked you up. And so obviously the Tala that's with Ed and all that is not the real Tala. It's an imposter. Whom could it be? Anyway. So they're thinking, what's going on? So anyway, so she hangs fire. Meanwhile, I said a big Kalon ship. There we go. I'll do this. It's about to smash into the Orville, and then bang! It just all stops. Everything stops. They're not dead. All the other crew are all frozen as well. Just this landing party that we've been following are still moving about. There's the Kalon ship, just inches above the Orville. Anyway, it turns out... There we go. That's the money shot, isn't it? Turns out that it's all an illusion. There we go. She appears. Didn't get a shot of it. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Oh, can't see it properly, can you? Hang on, let me move this a bit. Dee so you can see her. There we go. Right, so she's there, and it turns out that they went to this planet in, I can't remember which season it was, either season 1 or 2, obviously, where they ended up worshipping Kelly. So I think it was season 1, wasn't it? They were worshipping Kelly, and it was a planet that moved out of phase every 11 days, and every time they moved into our universe, they'd advanced so many 100 years, 700 years or something, I can't remember, something like that. So in all that time, they've advanced like 50,000 years, of our years. So they become super amazing and super technological. They look like they're living Tron. So, but they've become immortal. So they're using this to learn what it's like to die. They were all about to die. When their eyes went white, they were all about to die, and they wanted to know what that felt like, because they're now immortal, because they're so advanced, but they still have false eyelashes. Apparently, but never mind. And high heels. She has these weird high heels, but that's by the by. So that's what they're doing. It was just an experiment. They went, and she says they went. There we go. Oh, you can't see them. They were never in any real danger. I'll show you high heels. Look, it's got weird high heels. Look, why? If you're so advanced, why do you need high heels? So I met them. Them thighs and stuff. Look. Sexy. Anyway, where were we? They were never in any real danger. It's all, just part of what they're doing, and that's it basically. That is the upshot of it all. They don't say sorry or anything. They've put them through hell for an episode, and that's it. And then she sods off. And then they go back to the proper Orville. In a minute. And have a little meeting. And Ed says, he wants to live forever. It'd be nice if you could live forever. And I said, well, why would you want to live forever? And he says, well, because I want to see what happens, which is fair enough. I'd want to live forever and see what happens, because it's the old FOMO, innit? The whole fear of missing out. And basically, that's it. That's the end of the episode. They all live happily ever after. They've been through, a bit of an adventure by advanced aliens, a bit like the original series of Star Trek. And that's it. It was a bit of a nothing episode, really, to be honest. Yeah, it had a Kalon space battle, but it wasn't real. None of it were real, and it didn't further the story at all. So, like I said, it wasn't as good as last week's, which wasn't as good as the week before's. So we're on a bit of a downward trend here. But it was okay. I didn't mind it. It didn't mind it. It was okay. It was better than a lot of stuff we see. And I did enjoy, watching it as it happened. But it was just, a bit of a muchness. So I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. Which I think I gave last week's a 6 out of 10, did I? Or was it a 7? No, it was a 6, wasn't it? So it was about the same as last week's. I wouldn't go as low as a 5. I'd give it a 6. It was okay. I enjoyed it. But it's something we've seen before, I suppose, in other sci-fis. But yeah, 6 out of 10. That was episode 3, Mortality Paradox. And I'd read in an interview somewhere that this was supposed to be the best episode, but I don't think it was. But we'll see how we go on. We'll see how we go on as the series progresses. But yeah, we'll leave it there. So next up, my next video, I'll be Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which I quite enjoyed this week's episode again. But that's by the by. This is the Orville, a decent episode, 6 out of 10. Some good action, some dodgy effects with the compositing in the backgrounds and stuff. It looked a bit 90s, but never mind. So we'll leave it there. So wherever you are in the universe, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and all that stuff. Bye.